Well, greetings, BCOT247 students. This is Mr.D. This is week number 7 of our 16-week course of business communications here at Cerritos College. And once again, I'm just going to go over some of the assignments that we did last week, as well as look at what you have to work on this week. And this week, we're going to be looking at Chapter 5 on short workplace messages and digital media. So we're going to be doing kind of a unique writing assignment that I'm going to take a little bit of time to explain to you. So let me go ahead and share my screen. There we go. Here I am on our homepage in Canvas, and I'm going to go ahead and select module number 2 because we start module number 2 today. So I'm going to select that, and then that should bring me into module 2. It's a little slow today, my internet, but that brings me here. So last week we finished module number 1. This is where we focused on chapter 4, which was completing or revising business documents. So this is where you were going to spend some time proofreading your documents, as well as utilizing what we call design elements for readability, which are things like adding short single-spaced paragraphs, bullet lists, headings, bold text, underlined text, anything you need to within the body of your message, your letter, email, or memo that allows the eye to be able to scan it and to find things. And so definitely overdo it on that kind of stuff, what we call design elements for readability. In fact, your homework assignment was on making your document scannable. And I did do a video on business writing where I talked about some of that. So please make sure you watch that video. But you did do your first exam, which included the sentence rewrites. And I did grade all the sentences earlier in the week. So you should have been able to look at your sentence homework and then compare that to the exam and know how to complete those sentences. So I'll be grading your exams and your papers from last week over the next couple of days. I got way behind on my grading this week because I had a big accreditation visit at Norco College where I teach full-time. So it kind of slowed me down. So I'll be catching up the early part of this week. So don't sweat it. I'll be getting to it pretty soon. But as we move into week number 7, we have a video, again, the business writing video. If you've not watched that, I guarantee you need to watch it. And I have it on here as a must-do. And that's because if you've not watched it, you're not going to really know what I'm looking for in the writing assignments. And this is important. So please watch that video. Make sure you watch it from the beginning to the end and that you listen to everything I say about business writing, because business writing is not just how it reads, but that it's formatted properly like a letter, memo, or email, and that it has that you use design elements to improve the readability and scannability of your document. That's very important. And so how it looks, you want it to look professional, you want it to look readable, you want it to look nice, and that way your reader's not going to be intimidated getting communications from you. So anyway, this week we're going to be looking at digital channels. This is where we're going to be talking about writing for digital mediums, so things like the internet, blogs, tweets, instant messaging, all that kind of stuff. And so there's a lot in this chapter about when you send an email and when you don't send an email, when a memo is better than an email, and all that kind of stuff. So it really gives you a good base for what the purposes of emails, letters, memos, and all that are, as well as how to write for digital channels. And so the homework assignment is the elements of a blog. I'm going to go ahead and open that up for a second. And if you're watching this video, you get help. All I'm really looking for you to do here, and this is very important, is that you do need to download these pictures. I believe I gave you a link right here to be able to download it at the bottom, or just take a screenshot of it or whatever. But I really want you to use the images that I've given you. And what I've given you here is 2 decent looking blogs. So one thing about a blog, they're always going to have a catchy title, and that's what this or arrow is pointing to. They're always going to have some kind of graphic, so that's what this arrow is pointing to. This particular blog used short single-spaced paragraphs. They use some red text, bold, to kind of stand out. They also have a heading over the middle of this bullet list. They have a bullet list, another heading, etc. So this is a great way that a blog should look. And the same thing with the next one. It has a catchy title. It has a image. It has a bullet list, a numbered list with headings on each line. It's a little crowded, but at least it's got laid out nicely. And then, of course, it has an apply now, which is a call to action. So those are what I'm looking for is just tell me what those different parts are. I just told you. So label them that way. And then on the last one, you need to reorganize this to make it look like a nice blog, or really just tell me what's wrong with it and just give me a list of things that are wrong with it. And right off the bat, it's missing a catchy title. It's missing image. There's no design elements in the paragraphs, etc. So that's that homework assignment. And then when I get to your writing assignment, this is a pretty critical week for this, is you're going to be writing for digital channels. And so your writing assignment is going to be 3 parts. First, you're going to do an instant message exchange, then you're going to do a blog, and then you're going to do a tweet. And it's all based off this leaked memo. So basically, you're pretending that you are the social media director for Apple, and the sales department sent out a memo to all of their sales associates, and this memo got leaked to a scrupulous reporter who basically is going to do damage to Apple. They're going to publish it on all kinds of websites. And so your job is to kind of do damage control. So you're going to have an instant message exchange with this reporter. He's going to reach out to you and say, hey, I heard Apple is in trouble. Yeah. So you need to create a conversation with him. So 10 statements back and forth. So the reporter starts off with the first statement, and then you answer them, and then you create another statement that the reporter will ask, and then you answer that. So basically, you're asking yourself questions, and you're answering them, pretending to be the reporter and pretending to be the social media expert at Apple. That's the first thing you're going to do, is you're trying to not give him too much information. Then you're going to do a blog, and the blog is going to be to give out the good news. You want to be ahead of the game. This guy's going to put out negative news, so put out the positive news in your blog, and write a blog, create a blog, make it look like a blog, make it look like the 2 blog samples I gave you in the homework, and communicate to your constituents through the blog. And then you're going to do a tweet. A tweet will drive people to your blog. Your blog will give them the good news or the news that you want them to have. A tweet should only be 140 characters, and characters are letters and spaces. So 140 letters and spaces is all you can have, and you can have a link. Usually there's hashtags and all that kind of stuff, but the tweet should say enough in it to grab the attention of your reader, and then it should drive them to your blog where you have more information. And so look it up in your book as to what a blog should have in it. Make sure you look at the 2 samples I've given you in the homework assignment. And then on the instant message exchange, that's where most students don't quite get it, is a conversation between you and the reporter. You have to make up the conversation other than the first line. I think the first line is something like, I heard Apple's in trouble and may fire a bunch of people. What can you tell me? That's the first question. So you're going to answer that. Then you're going to create the next question from the reporter till you have 5 questions and answers. So 10 exchanges altogether, back and forth. So, all right. I hope that makes sense. But that is the writing assignment for this week. And by the way, one other thing I haven't graded much of yet is your individual presentations. So I did a few last night, and I'm going to be doing more throughout the week. So I have a lot of students in my 3 classes here at Cerritos, so it's going to take a little bit. If I take a little while to get to yours, I apologize. But I will grade it as long as you've submitted it, of course, and that you've commented on 2 other students' presentations. Then I will grade yours. So that's pretty much it. You have a quiz as always, and you have a check-in assignment as always this week for week number 7. But that's it. Have a great week, everybody. I know it was a lot, but I wanted to explain those assignments to you. And if you have any questions, issues, or concerns, see me during my office hours on Monday at 12:30 to 1:45, or you can reach out to me anytime I'm available. So have a great